Hey, back, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who. And this is The Edge of Destruction from 1964. Now, previously, we had The Daleks. Oh, what a brilliant story that was. And then the next one would be Marco Polo. Unfortunately, this story is no longer in the archive. It's the whole story, missing episodes, so we can't review that. I'm going through my DVD collection. So the next episode will be The Keys of Marinus. So this is season 1. And this is the third story. And it consists of 2 episodes, which were transmitted on the 8th of February and the 15th of February 1964. And it's written by David Whittaker, who is also the script editor. It was one of those that he wrote in a couple of days. Yes, and it was a filler episode. There they are, a story that needed to be done on the cheap. He did it in 2 days, and so everything was going into Marco Polo. And so why not do one just with the TARDIS set? That was the remit that he was given, and that's what he did. And he does I suppose you've got to say he does a good job on what he's got to do, you know. This is directed by, it's got 2 directors, which again seems rather odd, but there we are. Richard Martin is the first director on the first episode, and he was given this first story to do, first part of the story, and Richard Martin did do 22 episodes of Doctor Who, which is great. So he was very experienced in Doctor Who, but the idea was to give other directors a chance, a new having a go at doing Doctor Who. So we had Frank Cox, who directs the second episode, and he just directed 2 more episodes for Doctor Who, which was the Censorites episodes 5 and 6, say 1964. Then it's produced, of course, by Verity Lambert, who does such a good job. She's got doing really well in planning out how this series is going to go, and everything is really looking towards Marco Polo as the story. That it's a big historical story, and that is the next one. Anyway, let's get back to this one. The cast. I've just got to mention this, that David Whittaker also did the music. Yes, so what a talented man. Yes, very talented. The cast is, of course, the regular cast. We've got William Hartnell playing the Doctor. We've got William Russell playing Ian Chesterton, Jacqueline Hill playing Barbara Wright, and Carol Ann Ford playing Susan Foreman. And that's the cast. Yes. So, what is this story about? It's a very simple story, really. Something's going wrong in the TARDIS. Because obviously, things do go wrong in the TARDIS. And this is where we are actually getting a first concept of maybe that the TARDIS is just a bit more than a spaceship. We'll see that anyhow. And things start to feel strange. The controls are not working. And this, of course, leads to tensions amongst the characters, which seem somehow to be heightened. And they all started becoming paranoid and suspicious of each other. So we've got conflict in the TARDIS, as we say in Yorkshire, trouble at mill. And that's what's happening here. Things not working right. There's a whole sense, and there it is, the episode, the conflict. And we see something really quite controversial, and it did cause a bit of controversy at the time, was that Susan's behaviour becomes very erratic. To be honest, it's a bit of overacting. I'm sorry, but yes, Caroline Ford does overact, I think, in this. But she has a pair of scissors, and she's threatening people with the scissors. Yes, it's a real threat. And, you know, a children's programme, as it was considered at the time, shouldn't be showing this, because it's an everyday pair of scissors, which in any house, and you could get children enacting this, and that was considered a very bad thing. And so, yes, and she did say, did Verity Lambert, later when she's looking back at this, that yeah, she does regret having that in, but it was controversial, but it added a bit more spice, I suppose you could say, to Doctor Who. And there we are. Because, let's be honest, it's not one of the most memorable stories. You know it's a filler, and I think that is his weakness, really. Despite, you know, the attempts by the actors to do the best, and I don't know if they think that, as I say, they're in the great... the script doesn't bring out great acting either. I think that's fair to say. And the story just doesn't feel that good, in my opinion. It's there as a filler, but you accept it for what it is. And you can argue it's, and as I say, it's laying the foundations about the TARDIS, which is a good thing, because TARDIS becomes part of the, you know, the whole mythology of Doctor Who is the TARDIS. That it's just much more than a spaceship, and that is here we get that for the first time, because don't forget, we're just discovering more people. There's no history to Doctor Who in terms of the writers as well, and so they're laying these seeds, these foundations, which other writers in the future, doctors, will look at. So I think that's important. I'm trying to take positives out of this episode, so we've got to look at it like that. And it's a fact of life. Doctor Who was on a budget, and the producer had to make decisions and decide where the money would be spent and where it wasn't. And the next story, Marco Polo, was one of those sort of big costume type dramas that the BBC excelled at. They were throwing money at it. It was going to be such a brilliant story. Unfortunately, we can't make our minds up as much on that today. Though, you never know, with the rediscovery of some Doctor Who episodes. I haven't heard anything about it yet. Who knows? We may have a couple of episodes or another episode to look at, so we may get a better picture of what Marco Polo looks like in terms of, you know, just the feel of it. It will be interesting. There is telesnaps available, and on the DVD that I've watched, they've put these together with the soundtrack, because most of the soundtracks they do have of all these stories. So they put them together, so you get an impression, which is good to see that, but you can't beat seeing a live action, you know, story, really. As good as these telesnaps are, and of course they've, in later years, they put together animated form as well, which is all nice and good. It's better than Note, but you can't beat seeing the real episode. So that is the exciting thing to come in the future, that we may be able to see more about this episode by, seeing some that hopefully have been discovered. I don't know. I'll just show you the DVD. There it is. That's back, and then I say it's got the extras. There is quite a very good documentary on here. Yeah, it's not bad for a DVD. Obviously, they're not as good as the Blu-rays, but there's no first season of Doctor Who being released yet. I don't think there will be for quite a long time, but there we are. And there's the disc, nicely illustrated, and there's, I always say, these lovely little leaflets that you get with, give you a bit more information. And that's it. And this is, I say, from this the beginning box set, which is a nice box set. And that's it. Yes, hope you've enjoyed that. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you give this a like, it gets it out to YouTube, and hopefully other people might enjoy it. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I always love to read your comments. I always reply to them. If you've not subscribed to this channel, why not think about doing that? If you subscribe, we'll let you know when I put out any videos. And also, if you're interested in past reviews, have a look in the playlist, and you can see all the past reviews I've done of Doctor Who. Also, I do a lot of other things. You can see in the playlist TV shows and some reviews of films and bits and pieces. Have a look there, all with a retro feel. And that's it. Yes. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.